Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Cannery Chat. We have some special guests with Ashley and I here today. We have Rena Sweeney with Alchemy Events, and Jessica Burke with New Orleans Wedding Magazine, and Jessica the photographer. We're very excited to have them here as everyone is sitting around and trying to figure out their next step and what they're going to be doing. We have in the event business, time is something that we do not have much of, except to give to you guys. So we have been taking this time to collaborate with our wonderful vendors and within our companies to figure out ways how we can communicate with you, our audience, our clients, and to be available. And this is our new norm. So we're just all trying to adapt to it. But I'm very excited to have them join in on these chats with us. We have some really exciting things, and this is an opportunity for you to bounce ideas back and forth, but we just want to really get an idea of how everyone is kind of handling what's going on and proceeding with their businesses. So I'm about to introduce Rena Sweeney, and she can kind of elaborate on how she's handling her clients and going forth with her business. But just a little background with about Rena and myself. We go way back, and actually 15 years ago, when Katrina hit, another catastrophe, our businesses kind of flourished, and we were able with family and support to venture off in the cannery, and she started her own wedding planning business. So Rena, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
As far as my clients go for Alchemy Events, I'm really telling couples that are in immediate danger for the next month or two that it's probably best to postpone, but I'm not encouraging anyone to cancel. No one wants to cancel their wedding. We don't want you to cancel your weddings. All of us vendors as photographers and venues and caterers and coordinators, we're very invested in couples' days as well. We've put a lot of work in and time and effort and creativity. And so we all want to see you get married and be there for you also. So right now, I'm really just working with my clients to reschedule them tentatively for the fall, trying to avoid some months like October, which we know are going to be really crazy already. And then the city is rescheduling some things during that month as well, some festivals. So we're really just working to try to get everybody shifted around, and even if that means the plan changes a little bit, all the vendors have been really great about being flexible. I know the two of you and Ashley, they're at the camera. I know you guys are really flexible and feel the same way. We just want to help our clients. We're not looking to try to profit off this or have anybody cancel their wedding either. We want to be there for you. And so I've really been focusing on trying to help clients understand during this time what their options are and what steps they should take. If they don't have a coordinator, I've been offering couples a free half-hour phone consult where they can just ask me questions, get some guidance. How should they go about doing this? What do they do if they've already got invitations printed or sent out or a room block or, there are just a million questions. And so I've just been trying to help guide people through that. All of us on this call went through Hurricane Katrina and, suffered through that with businesses and personal lives being thrown out of whack. And so we've been there before, and we all kind of know that all those things just snowball onto each other. And so I've just been trying to help guide people. So I've got some prior experience, unfortunately, with disaster, and just trying to help couples wherever I can.
And I'm just going to intercede because I have to reiterate, we're doing everything we can to reschedule and working with other vendors, other venues, other caterers. There might be a night that you need to reschedule that there might already be a prior event booked. So that's where all of our relationships and the community of this industry comes together, which is so important in us getting through all what's going on, is we'll get through it together. So a very important thing is, of course, this hit at a very busy time for all of us. The spring is peak for festivals and peak for events and weddings. And I can't stress enough what Rena said was rescheduling for October. We still are every day getting information from the NOMCBB. Is that right? NOMCBB. Anyway, getting information from them and trying to stay within their parameter of how many people we can have at events, and how long is this social distancing. As Ashley stated earlier, every day things change. So it's extremely important that we continue to practice that. But the rescheduling, October, again, Rena,
Yeah,
an extremely busy month. So if you want to maybe touch on that, and what are some other months, maybe thinking outside the box of things that can still.
Yeah, October is traditionally one of the, if not the busiest month for weddings in New Orleans. So this year we also have the added kind of stressor of all of these festivals getting pushed into October as well. So especially couples that are in the French Quarter, I think, are really going to be impacted. It's going to be difficult. So I'm really steering clients more towards like September, November. December does get kind of crazy typically, because we also then have corporate events and holiday parties. Although I think there may be a shift on that this year just because of the climate change and probably businesses hurting, so we may see a shift on that in December. But right now I'm just really pushing people to try to think about like September, maybe even November. No one wants to put their wedding off for a whole year. Nobody wanted to do an April 2020 wedding and have to push into 2021 unless they really, really have to. So for now, I'm really trying to, like I said, move towards like September dates, and then we'll just have to play it by ear. Like you said, we don't know. All we can do is follow the parameters day by day. So some of that is still shifting, and
I did have a question on a couple of other Zoom meetings we've gone on. People are talking about Thursdays and Sundays. Have you thought about that? And what do you feel about that? Like, I know people don't want to do that, but that might happen. It might have to happen that way. What are your thoughts on that?
I personally am not a fan of that. I think that, my clients, at least, we have put so much thought and so many hours into planning and prepping everything that I really want to try to give them that same experience that they initially wanted, if at all possible. So personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. I do know that there are some vendors who are pushing people to do weekday weddings or Sunday weddings. I think also some vendors are sort of caught in the midst of, okay, well, I may have still been able to book, say, a date next March. And so if I let this client rebook to that March date for March 2021, then I'm losing income myself because I can't book that date to someone else because I'm scheduling someone who should have already been booked, and yada, yada. My experience with Katrina, honestly, really has brought me to the point that now with this pandemic, I'm not worried about that. I think people come first. You do what you've got to do. And it's not the couple's fault that this has happened. It's going to be hard on everyone. I don't want to make it harder on them by trying to push them to have a weekday date or something that really is not what they want. So currently, all of my clients have rescheduled for weekends. We're still doing what we had originally planned to do, other than just moving the date. And, I do have one couple that's still going to do a little short ceremony, hopefully, in June, and then push the big party and reception to the fall. But again, we're going to do it on a weekend, on a Saturday. And I really think that's where having an open line of communication with your vendors and a good relationship with your vendors helps, because if you can talk to your venue and say, okay, Ashley and Kellie, I really want to have a Saturday again. What can you do for me? And
So
even
I
if
can intercede with being on a venue part, and also being, if they don't have a planner, I have clients that have chosen to go to a Thursday, and I agree with you. We do want to make it special, but it is about the couple. And to me, I'm finding when they're trying to stay within their realm and their original idea of their special day, they want to continue to use all their vendors. And as you stated, that a lot of, if we're moving back to those dates could already be booked with them. So I found with the brides that we have had to reschedule, that in order to make sure and ensure that they have all of them, is choosing an off date, like a Thursday or a Sunday. That ensures that they do continue with everybody that they had initially planned to. To some, that is, it's important. It's very important. I've penciled in dates for people and they couldn't get the church or the photographer at the same time. So it's just a challenge, and I just need to reiterate that we're all just trying to work together to do it. And if there's someone that we know or have a relationship with that we feel secure enough to hand off, and have them work with you, we certainly will do that. But it's amazing. At first I was kind of like, is anybody, but yes, it is tending to work out, because if they want maybe October, a weekday will fit, because those Saturdays and Fridays are booked in advance.
Yeah. October dates are gone at this point. There are people have been planning their October weddings for 2 years now. So I don't think those are really so much an option. So yes, if you definitely want October, then yeah, maybe moving to a Thursday, especially if you're local and that is an option for you because people could come on a Thursday evening, then that may work. But I think the other important thing is that, like I mentioned, having that relationship with your vendors and that open line of communication. And, when you're looking at rescheduling, starting off with most important pieces first, which are going to be your photographer, your venue, your church, making sure that those are available. And then, if as you start to trickle down the line with vendors, if you have someone that plays a minor role in your wedding and they're not available that date, then you can weigh, okay, well, is there a different rental company that would have similar products that I could use them instead, or, whatever it is. If you're a pedicab for your send off or whatever those pieces of the puzzle are, that's something that has a little more flexibility than say, your venue or your church. And I think Jessica, from the magazine perspective, is still seeing, I know when we had our bridal show, Bridal Bash, right before the pandemic got really bad, we had a great turnout, and a lot of those brides were really further out. They were 21 and 22 brides also. So I do still think that there are definitely people out there that are planning and are looking further out.
So it is of importance that if you are booked in the next couple of months, if you haven't, I know I've reached out to my brides and immediately, and just letting them know that we're here for anything, and if there's anything, and most of them have rescheduled, still are just waiting for some confirmation of if the church is ready and all that kind of stuff. I also have to say and ask, have you had anybody that you were planning on getting married in the last couple of weeks that maybe have done something alternative? I do remember for Katrina, we had a big wedding plan that weekend, and we had to actually cancel because we were all evacuated, but they did end up getting married and we had a big reception after. So anything like that, because this weekend we had a couple that did just that, and it was extremely special, and they did a Facebook Live of, with just their immediate family, invited everybody to watch them, and we are rescheduled in July. So that's when they can celebrate.
My couples have all opted to reschedule into the fall, but I know Jessica could speak to that because for the magazine, we just ran an article about a couple that just did that, kind of took an alternative approach. So I'll let Jessica talk about that.
Yeah, we actually did have one couple. They were scheduled to get married, I think about 3 weekends ago. It was 2 weeks after the shutdown orders started going off. And they had a huge wedding, 300 people invited. It was a massive wedding planned, and they had to shut it down because you couldn't have more than 10 people gathering. And they already had their marriage license, so they decided that they were going to contact their pastor and just actually get married, not wear the real dress or the real suit or any of that, but actually just have a little bitty ceremony to officially get married on their real date. And they're scheduling for their big wedding with all their family and friends into the fall or next spring. I don't think they have the date exactly set, but they're still looking at it and monitoring the situation. And I think that's just so important to, you know, if you do have to cancel or postpone your wedding this spring, to still try to celebrate on that original date, even if it's just, you know, popping some champagne or, you know, doing something special to mark the day so that it's not just thinking about what could have been, but trying to celebrate in the moment. And I think it's so important to try to celebrate in the moment and remember what we're grateful for, and just be grateful that we're all here together and that we have each other and that love.
I can't agree with you more. And we are talking with Jessica Burke. She has New Orleans Wedding Magazine. She does the Bridal Bash twice a year, which we'll be hosting in September at the Cannery. So we're very excited to do that. We had great response and turnout for the last one. So we're very excited. And she's also Jessica, the photographer. So from a business standpoint, what are some of the things that you may be doing to help out your brides as well as your vendors?
Well, one of the things we're doing, obviously we have the magazine, and you know, some of our stores locally that we distribute to are closed. Barnes and Noble is not really open to, you know, give out magazines, but we are still in a lot of stores. We're still in, you know, grocery stores, you know, drugstores and whatnot that are still open and, you know, people can go into. But we realize it's important to be socially distancing, and we still want to maintain support of our vendors and our brides, keep them inspired, and keep our vendors in front of our brides. So we've always shipped magazines. It's always been an option, but we've decided to do a special offer to where we are shipping our last 2 issues right here. You can get them shipped directly to your house for $5 shipping and handling. It's less than the cost of buying one magazine at the store, and we send it directly to your house. And, you know, we're just trying to make sure that brides have that inspiration, but they don't have to risk going out and potentially getting contaminated, getting sick, or, you know, spreading the virus. So we're just trying to make sure that we keep everyone out there. We're also putting a lot of content online, a lot of real weddings coming up. We have so many amazing real weddings that had happened, you know, in the last year that we are about to be featuring. So you're going to be looking for that too. And we're super excited to share those stories.
Just wanted to let everybody out there know that we are taking questions for Jessica and Rena. If you have any questions for Kellie or I, you can reach us at info@cannerynola.com, or you can reach us on Instagram or Facebook. I don't know if Jessica and Rena, y'all want to put your information out there. If you want to get any direct questions, please do. And we're happy to take any questions, and we'll be answering those next week. So if you're not getting this video till Friday, you're not seeing this, we'll still be taking questions through next Wednesday. So please reach out to us.
Also, give us some ideas and some content that you're interested in maybe getting opinions about, or our knowledge on those things, or you know, we are constantly coming together to come up with more and great ideas. So we'll be talking about the things that we're doing and updating at the Cannery, since we have this extra time and actually can do it. Some looks, some decor, some things that we've been talking about for a long time. So you need to stay tuned so you can see all those great things. So our giveaway this week is a dinner for 5. And the way that we are going to pick our winner is to, we really truly would love to hear what you guys have to say. So comment, ask us your questions. Again, we will answer them. follow Alchemy Events on Facebook and Instagram, and Jessica Burke, the photographer, as well as New Orleans Wedding Magazine, to stay current on everything that's going on. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and look forward to it.
And we'll be picking a winner from your questions and comments.
Okay. And we'll be picking a winner, a lucky winner, next Wednesday, April 15th, live. So stay tuned.
I did want to say, I want to give a little plug to Toulouse Gourmet. The winner of the meal is from Toulouse Gourmet. And as I talked about that last week, Toulouse Gourmet is our sister company. That's how everything got started back in 2005. So please know too that Toulouse Gourmet is doing daily specials. We're still serving meals. So please check them out as well at toulousegourmet.com and order a meal.
And also stay tuned. We literally just got notice about something really exciting that has been in the works. So stay tuned to find out what that is and how you can possibly be a part of it. So.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us this week. Thank you to Rena and Jessica for joining us and answering all your questions. Please send us your questions and comments. We'll be grabbing those all week and we'll be answering them next Wednesday, April 15th, as well as doing the giveaway. Everybody have a happy Easter. I know it's going to be a quiet Easter for everybody, but have a happy Easter and we'll see you next week.
Stay safe, social distance, and make sure you wash your hands.